Hi everyone. Today in quarantine we focus on possibly my favourite album of the last 20 or 30 years. It's Blonde, it's by Frank Ocean. Not the easiest record to get by any means, but I'm sure many of you have heard it, and I'm sure many of you will agree it's quite simply one of the greatest albums of the modern era. For me, it goes beyond that. But today I'm going to be talking about Blonde from Frank Ocean. What can you say about this guy? All of the records, all through the years. Some of these are booties. This certainly isn't. And of course, Blonde. Very hard to choose between Blonde and Channel Orange. Even Nostalgia Ultra. Endless, different kind of record, really. But they would have all been big on my radio shows over the years. Tracks like this when they came out, Thinking of You, obviously all the big ones, Super Rich Kids, everything really. But Blonde, to be honest, is the one that I'm gonna just marginally choose. It's a masterpiece. They all are, to be honest. I personally think Frank Ocean, whether it's radio or whether it's anything else, I think he's the artist of a generation, one of the best of the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years. But to be honest, one of the best of all time, no doubt. Even without the music and without that amazing voice, I think Frank Ocean is the best modern day songwriter. He's my favourite anyway. And this has been reflected throughout all the music of his career. And a Blonde, definitely the high point for me so far. As I say, there's not much in it because the writing in Channel Orange and in the earlier releases was incredible as well. And it continues with the one or two things he's done since Blonde. But as I say, this is without the music and without the voice, which is also one of my favourite voices since Marvin Gaye. But Frank Ocean, when it comes to the writing alone, I think he's sealed his place up there with the best, you know. Vinyl love is very much a subjective thing. This is very much a personal thing for me, obviously. But I will say, without intellectualising it or anything, there's no record which I've put on as much, listened to in the car, going for walks on the headphones. I've literally put it on back to back when it came out. I don't think I listened to anything else for about a month. Been listening to it forever, and I still do. That's how much this record means to me, and I get a bit impatient when it comes to any kind of music. But this record, even when I go into the club at night, the first one I do to put it on to test it, I might put on something like Nights or whatever, just to test out the system. But that's how personally important this record is for me. Regarding the vinyl itself, I got lucky buying this off the site direct, right place in the right time. Same with Endless. Amazing, really, to get these on vinyl officially. It is a pity that that the earlier stuff was not released officially. I'm sure it will happen because I got the bootlegs obviously because I'm a Frank Ocean nut, but it would be great if they received proper official releases. And indeed, if Blonde did get that official, proper mainstream release as well on record, because lots of people want these on vinyl, and you can see why. Just look at that track list, huh? Modern day fan culture, stan culture has changed a lot, and people feel that these artists have a duty to incessantly bring out stuff in advance of this album. It really got on my nerves. I wrote about it quite a bit, about how the fan pressure, people felt that they were owed something quicker. That's not how it works. There's a reason why this stuff stands up. There's a reason why this is crafted so well, the songs are written so well, it's produced so well, and there's a reason why we'll listen to this forever. It's like Sade, she releases an album when she wants and when she's ready, and that's why a lot of great art takes a bit of time, and he deserves that time. He's released stuff since, but the next one will be worth waiting for too, the next album proper, and it's just one of those things that kind of, as I say, gets on my nerves a little bit, but it is one of the reasons why we'll listen to this till the end of time. Just looking through the credits there, imagine having Beyonce and Pharrell on a track. The track is called Pink and White, one of my favourites. Imagine having them on a track and not shouting about it. James Blake's on there. There's loads of different musicians, loads of different co-production, all that kind of thing. But it's very much all about Frank Ocean, and it says a lot about him, that he's confident enough to be able to not shout about those guests. Modern day culture, as I say, sometimes the guests and the features dominate the discourse. But with this, didn't need it.
Round the city, round the clock. Everybody needs you.
Up here in the crib, records from all the different dimensions of music, mainly black music, but all sorts of music. There's everything from Dinah Washington to Ella Fitzgerald, there's Coltrane, there's Miles, there's Stevie, there's Marvin, there's Curtis, Aretha, Minnie Riperton, A Tribe Called Quest, Outkast, De La Soul, Public Enemy, Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill. This guy is up there with the very best. It's Blonde, it's Vinyl Love, and it's one of the greatest.